Good morning.
Bonjour, mes amis.
Bonjour. Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining us here on our weekly Olympic live stream. I'm Jala Washington, Olympic correspondent, heading to Paris this summer.
And I'm Segal, not heading to Paris this summer.
His favorite line. Thanks so much for joining us, y'all. How's everybody doing? How are you doing today?
Doing good. I'm looking forward to today's show. I know we're going to interview or talk to a girl from Jamaica who's done very well. And learning a little bit about French cuisine.
We are. He's always good at the teases.
Yeah, French cuisine.
First up today, so of course, for those of you who have not watched our live stream before, we like to talk about stories that we're working on for Journey to Paris. We do stories all across the country, just talking about Olympic hopefuls or Olympians who are already qualified to compete in Paris this summer. And there are lots of local people who I've been connecting with probably over the last several months. One of those athletes, Akelia Smith, she's a UT Longhorn jumper. Incredibly talented. From Jamaica, as Rich mentioned. And I want to show you guys her story in this week's Journey to Paris.
My name is Akelia Smith. I was born in Jamaica. I grew up with my grandma, my aunt, and three of my siblings.
When you see Akelia Smith, know this. Where she is right now is where she's always wanted to be.
One of my main goals was to get a scholarship and just go to a university. Back home you hear that, oh, if you get a college education, you're sure to get a job.
Why was that important?
Like a first-gen college student, so I wanted to achieve something.
Yeah.
Some of those things so far,
Not bad.
to say the least.
Yeah, no, not bad at all.
Not bad.
She's a junior jumper now for the University of Texas at Austin track and field team and holds the 2023 NCAA outdoor long jump title, the Texas triple jump indoor and outdoor records for the university, and just recently claimed the title of 2024 Big 12 indoor long jump champion.
What do you think that your younger self would say?
I think she'd probably be jumping up and down.
But behind most great success are tough times. Akelia struggling to rediscover who she was in the sport when she moved from Jamaica to Texas.
So when I did get to UT, I was literally confused my first year, and it was like, okay, I had to fall in love with track and field again.
And now,
Reaching at this stage where I used to watch Usain Bolt. I'm on my way there.
she wants Paris.
Everybody out there work just as hard as you are, maybe as harder than you. So every time you run, you jump, you throw, you're just trying to be your best.
On the Journey to Paris, I'm Jala Washington.
If she was trying to find herself, she picked the right place to come to.
I know, yeah, she's amazing. I shared her story on my Instagram page and collaborated with her, so it showed up on her page as well. And of all the stories that I've shared, this is one of the stories that has gotten the most likes and shares and views from all around the world.
That's
So
nice.
she's got lots of support. And she'd also mentioned, her family being in Jamaica, not getting to see them often. She just really wanted to make sure she could do something to stand out and make her mark. So we're rooting her on. She has not qualified yet. She's got a couple of more competitions coming up in the next couple of months.
Here?
Not here. No,
Okay.
she's got one more, I believe, university track meet, and then hopefully a couple of postseason meets as well. That'll help her qualify. She has to reach a certain distance for her to qualify in both the triple and long jump. So kind of confusing when you get into all of the weeds of it, but so excited for her, and I loved getting to talk to her. Rich was impressed. He was sitting here watching that woo, look at her go.
Look at that.
Yeah, she was awesome. What was that?
Boom.
I thought
Or
he
she
was.
takes off to where she lands. It was incredible to see how far she traveled in the air.
Yeah. Hey, I'm learning so much about track and field. We've talked to a few track and field athletes now from UT. All right, another story I'm working on. Love this one. Did y'all know breakdancing is now an Olympic sport?
I did not.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Very excited. I had no idea what goes into breakdancing, what it entails, but we got a pretty good breakdancer on Team USA already out of Houston, Texas. He goes by B-Boy Jeffro. The breakdancers are called B-Boys and B-Girls. So I got to go to Houston a few days ago and connect with him there, training at his gym where he was just, absolutely killing it. He's kind of explaining to me what goes into it, just with you know, the skill and the style. And what's really interesting about breakdancing is this is the one sport where 100% what you're being judged on, there's no like set, I guess, requirements of what you have to do. It's just based off of your style and whether or not the judges think you're good. So I want to show you brief little clips from part of our interview that I did with him.
Breaking takes a lot. It takes a lot of mental capacity. It's part of being an artist and an athlete put all in a one. The DJ throws whatever song they want to throw out, and it's your job to perform to it. I like being surprised because if I perform to something that I've already danced to, I don't know, I don't feel it as much. My style is a vibe of explosion.
My guy.
It's your guy. You've been playing the music.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to pick a song now. And I can pick
He said he can dance to anything.
He said he can dance to anything.
Anything.
Anything?
Anything. Anything. Yeah. Nah.
So, in true Jala fashion, I love Drake. I'm a big Drake fan. This is a song by Drake. Not a breakdancing song at all, but
No?
No, not at all. It's like a very like islandy, chill, like, I don't know, maybe you're on vacation, on a vacation as the kids call it.
But he's making it work.
He's making it work. But yeah, he said, he was like, challenge me. I can break dance to anything. And that's the point, right? As a break dancer, you got to be able to do your thing, add your own little flair to it. And as you heard him say, his style is a vibe of explosion. So I'm really interested to see how breakdancing plays out on the world stage in Paris this summer.
So the obvious question for me is this. When you were over there, did you do what he did?
I did not.
Did
no.
not do that. Okay.
I did. I told you my legs are a little sore right now. I did a little strength workout. I was like, I didn't want to embarrass myself.
Okay.
But you know what's really cool? And I think this just speaks to the Olympic culture and the Olympic spirit. A sport like breakdancing, bringing people together all around the world. There are so many different forms of dancing, right? But you have breakdancing that can be done with various songs, various genres. And he was kind of telling me in our interview as well that when he travels to different regions, he kind of picks up, he adds new things to his style just because of the different music that's there. So that's really interesting. But I did ask him, I was like, have you ever been robbed before when it comes to like a judge thinking you're not as good as you think you are? And he was like, yeah, absolutely, all the time. But it's hard. There's no way that you're being scored. Like
Yes.
they're literally just deciding whether or not they think you're good.
I think they're going to make up the rule as they go along for this because it's the first time, right?
Yes.
So he's an athletic artist and an athletic artist and an artist athlete.
Yeah, no, he really is. He really is. I did ask him as well if there's a certain dress code. I would probably just, I don't know,
You know,
wear this. Or
they're
something.
gonna create one where
Yes,
there's a way to make money.
Exactly.
Someone will come up with the idea.
Probably, yeah. He was saying there's already some talk that, like at the Olympics, there's going to be some sort of dress code. But what a fun, creative sport! I'm hearing that there might be some breakdancers here in Austin who are trying to qualify as well. So we're gonna look out for them.
Okay.
All right, let's move on and talk about some of our weekly headlines. First one is a little bit solemn. You remember when I was in Houston, not this past time obviously, but when I went to Simone Biles' gym and I interviewed a few of her teammates. Zoe Miller was one of those girls. Let's show you her here. Really talented gymnast who trains in Houston, Spring, Texas, just outside of Houston. She announced on her Instagram that she will no longer be trying to qualify for the Paris 2024 Olympics, meaning she's not going to be going to trials. This all stems from a shoulder injury. She got injured back in February. And yeah, she announced on her Instagram that she wants to focus on really recovering and giving her shoulder proper time to heal because she is committed to do gymnastics at LSU, who just won their first NCAA national title, by the way. And yeah, she just wants to make sure that she's given her all to her team going in as a freshman and obviously very talented, having been a part of the elite program for USA Gymnastics for many, many years. So that one hurt to see, especially since I got to do a story with her.
Perhaps she'll try again.
Yeah.
After the shoulder heals properly and
Yeah.
she's had time to be educated at LSU.
Yeah, I guess that's always a possibility as well. But she
Never
had
never close the door. Always leave it a little
Exactly.
open for something like that.
Yeah, exactly. She and Simone Biles are pretty close. If you follow them on Instagram, they kind of have like a big sister, little sister relationship. So it's really cool. So we're rooting for you, Zoe, and best of luck with everything that you're doing. But yeah, that was a little sad headline that I wanted to let y'all know about today, just updating you. Next headline that I wanted to talk about, this is really cool. So the International Olympic Committee, they have announced their Refugee Olympic team.
What is that?
And I never heard of that before. So basically what they do, they take athletes, Olympians, who are obviously going to be at the games, who are refugees. So they are representing refugees all across the world.
Okay.
And I think it's really powerful. Obviously, they've been doing this for several years now. And I was reading on the Olympics News, Olympics.com. They say that this team will be made up of 36 athletes from 11 different countries, hosted by 15 national Olympic committees, really just showing on the world stage just how integral refugees are to our society. So really cool there to see them announcing that team. Yeah, so that was something that I wanted to bring up.
How excited they are.
Exactly, so excited. All right, our third to last headline. So we talked about this, a few weeks ago. Sin River was a little smelly. Yeah, it was a little smelly because there were traces of fecal matter. This was actually going to affect one of the Olympic events there. They weren't going to be able to have the swimming portion of the triathlon happening there in the Sin River because of this. But some good news that just came out. NBC News reports that, or the AP News rather, reports that a giant water storage basin has been implemented to clean up the river for Olympic swimming. I know, look at how gross that was. It's really sad to see that sort of pollution, especially fecal matter. But good news is they are cleaning up and they are expecting to have that ready for the games this summer. So definitely wanted to provide that update since it was a pretty gross one that we told you about a few weeks ago.
And then you have something for people who like to eat.
I do have something for people who like to eat. Okay, so the most French food that most people think about when they are talking about Paris or whatever, what do you think of?
Well, escargot or vichyssoise. Am I
even know
completely?
what
Well, one of
that
them is
is.
soup.
Okay.
It's a soup. The vichyssoise is a soup. I think it's potato soup.
We're talking about baguettes.
Oh, well,
That
of
sound
course.
Parisian
Yeah,
to you?
sure, it really does.
So in the Olympic Village, super exciting. There are obviously going to be chefs there preparing food for all of these athletes. And in recent news, athletes are going to get the chance when they're there to actually make their own baguettes with the help of the chefs that are there in the Olympic Village. So I thought that was really cool just because, again, Paris is doing so many things to really kind of make this a unique games, very unique to the Parisian culture. So it's cool to see that they're going to get the opportunity to do that. I wonder, they didn't really release specifics on how exactly this process is going to work, like how long it's going to take. I mean, obviously athletes are going to be competing and busy, and I wonder, we bet you some athletes are not going to want to add the carbs to their diet.
I wouldn't think so, no.
When they're over there, but pretty cool.
Put it off to the side until I'm done.
You can give it to maybe mom or dad or whoever else might be there supporting you. But it reminded me, though, we do have a story that we're going to be dropping in a few weeks. NBC, in partnership with them, they have a series called Breaking Baguettes. There is a French chef who NBC partnered with, where for this series, the chef sits down, literally breaks bread with Olympians as well as Olympic hopefuls, kind of talks about fun things, and then after that, he teaches them how to cook something French in the kitchen. So we'll bring you that behind-the-scenes story of that series that NBC is going to be doing here in a few weeks. But it's getting close. Yes. It's getting really close. So I'm excited, and I love doing these live streams with you every Saturday.
Me too.
It's always good to kind of keep my skills sharp ahead of Paris. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Have a good day. Have a good week.
Bonjour. Or is that hello?
Au revoir.
Au revoir.